Say yes to new beginnings.
Yes.
Say yes to new standards of excellence.
Yes.
Say yes to engaging reportage with a difference.
Yes.
Introducing Yes International Magazine.
Anyone who is desirous, who is interested in writing well, what must the person do to write well? What must one do? How does one become a good writer?
No, I think when we were talking, I'm not too sure if I am qualified, to tell people some of these things that you are asking me. Because the honest truth is, it's only when people read you that they can tell whether you write well or not. I just know that I write. You understand? But one of the very fundamental things that I know about writing is that you must be a reader. You must be a reader. I mean, whether you want to write well or you don't want to write, the moment you want to write, you must read, you must be a voracious reader, because it is from reading that you can only better yourself. I'll give you an example. When I became a journalist, I remember the first feature article I didn't know. I knew I could write, so I just wrote something and I took it to my line head, Mr. Bemido Agunde. I'm sure you know him. It was the one. God bless him. Yeah, it was the one that was my feature editor at AM News then. So I gave into and I wrote and I submitted my copy, and he looked at it and he was like, young man, what is this now? It was like I had written an opinion article, but what he wanted from me was a feature article. So what he did was that he had been at the Guardian, and all of that. So he went home, he made photocopies of some of his articles for me, and handed them over to me. I said, go and read them. From this, look at the way you write a feature story, and that's how I started. So I see that whether you are a good writer, or whether you are an aspiring writer, or you are already a writer who wants to better yourself, or you are actually a good writer, in the real sense of the word, but continue reading for you to be better. The second thing is that as you read, you must also write. Because if you don't write, there is no way you can be better. I said to people, some people will tell me, I've written. Well, I said, write it and put it out. Because if you don't put it out, you won't know the errors you've made. You won't be able to get better. As a writer of whatever, read the people that you admire. If you are a non-fiction writer, read good non-fiction writers that you admire. I mean, in the past 2-3 weeks now, I've read about 4 Nigerian fiction writers. Novels, because I aspire to write more fiction. So I've read about, I just finished one. I just finished Ayobami Adebayo's Stay With Me. I just finished it about 1 a.m. last night or 2 a.m. last night. So people need to read to be better at what they are.
Now still talking about writing, what are some of the commonest mistakes, that you've noticed with most writers, especially the up and coming ones?
Commonest mistakes in terms of what they write, or in terms of their attitude?
Of course, in terms of what they write, that is one of the things we are using to assess them.
Well, you see, I think that everybody has their style. If you are not writing wrong English, if you are not writing wrong grammar, and if you write for people to understand you, I really don't see any problem. Once people you can communicate with people. But one of the things that I think we must understand as writer is the need for simplicity. So there is, don't complicate things. Anyone who complicates things will most definitely lose their audience. So Steve that is talking is one of the most interesting writers that I know. It's one of the most attractive. His writing attracts people. And why is it? Because it's simple, but you can see from the simplicity of his thought that is communicating very powerfully to you, and so it makes impact. But you don't want to write in such a way that by the time people even read about 3 or 4 lines from what you have, sentences from what you have written, they have opened their dictionary about 3 or 4 times, and so they just drop it because they have other things to do. So I think that the tendency to want to over impress, the tendency to, you know, to be verbose in the, I mean, to speak, you know,
Use
to try
highfalutin
to
words.
exactly, you know. I think it's one of the problems that people have when they write. And even every day I learn more about being simple, and I make deliberate attempts to be simple about